Madam President, ladies and gentlemen, we left behind a historically difficult year. COVID-19 showed how vulnerable and interdependent we are. We need a renewed commitment to multilateralism. And human rights-based approach is the essential in responding to the pandemic. We should give attention to the needs of vulnerable groups, including women, children, elderly, migrants, refugees, and persons deprived of their liberty. Equitable and affordable access to vaccines, medicines, and medical equipment is essential. These are the principles behind our global assistance efforts and our provision of free healthcare to all at home. Indeed, we assisted 157 countries and 12 international organizations in their efforts against the pandemic. And in Turkey, we provide free treatment and vaccination for COVID-19 to all, including migrants and refugees. Ladies and gentlemen, the promotion and protection of human rights remain a top priority for our government. Over the last 2 decades, we have undertaken significant reforms. Obviously, there is always room for improvement. Despite threats by multiple terror organizations, our commitment to human rights, democracy, and rule of law remains firm. Judicial reform strategy and the 3 legislative amendment packages adopted last year, as well as the Human Rights Action Plan to be announced soon, are concrete examples. Excellencies, let me share our views on some major issues where human rights and dignity are at stake. Xenophobia, racism, Islamophobia, and hate speech are on the rise. The pandemic further increased these dangerous trends. Offensive publications and hate speech against Islam and Muslims insult nearly 2 billion believers around the world. Yes, freedom of speech is key to any democracy, but this freedom doesn't give the right to insult the sacred values of others. Unless we promote a culture of living together, we risk damaging our common democratic values and social cohesion. Terrorism remains one of the leading global threats targeting human lives. Just recently, PKK terrorist organization murdered 13 innocent lives in northern Iraq, and the world is silent again. Without international solidarity and with the current double standards, we cannot eradicate this threat. Having lost innocent lives to various terror groups, including the PKK, YPG, Daesh, and FETÖ, we know well that terror has no specific ideology. In Syria, people continue to suffer from the ongoing military offensives by regime forces and terrorist attacks. In addition to 3.7 million Syrians under temporary protection in Turkey, we contribute directly to the safety and well-being of 5 million civilians in northern Syria. Turkey is the only corridor for UN cross-border humanitarian aid to Syria, and even this corridor is under attack. It is essential to maintain this assistance. As the largest refugee hosting country in the world, we uphold our international obligations as well as the human rights and dignity of the people we are hosting. However, we are deeply concerned by the persistent practice of pushbacks occurring before the eyes of the European Union and Frontex. Israel continues to act with absolute impunity in the occupied Palestinian territories. The inhumane blockade in Gaza and expansion of illegal settlements by Israel remain a violation of human rights. Turkey will continue to support the legitimate quest of Palestinians for an independent and sovereign state of Palestine based on the 1967 borders with East Jerusalem as its capital. In Libya, each day, new mass graves are discovered in Tarhuna. Human Rights Council should contribute to bringing the perpetrators to justice. Although they made every effort towards a settlement, the Turkish Cypriots continue to suffer inhumane embargoes and unjust isolation. Despite these pressures, the Turkish Cypriots have their state, which functions as a vibrant democracy. In Nagorno-Karabakh, there is now a historic opportunity for a sustainable peace. We will continue to support initiatives for peace and prosperity in the South Caucasus based on regional ownership. And we hope that Armenia chooses to be a partner of peace. Turkey will reciprocate any positive steps taken by Armenia. We will also continue to support the peaceful resolution of the Abkhazia and South Ossetia conflicts while ensuring the territorial integrity and sovereignty of Georgia. Turkey supports Ukraine's territorial integrity, including Crimea. We will continue to support Crimean Tatars' aspirations to live freely and safely in their historical homeland. Turkey closely follows the human rights situation in the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region. The findings of the UN and other international reports are cause for concern. We share our concerns and expectations on the matter with the Chinese authorities. We expect transparency on this issue. While respecting China's sovereignty and territorial integrity, Turkey underlines the importance of protecting the human rights of Uyghur Turks and other Muslims. We continue to follow the developments regarding the possible visit of the High Commissioner's team to the region, and upon China's invitation, we will also send our own national team to visit the region. We reiterate our call to the Indian government to ease the current restrictions in Jammu Kashmir. We wish for the resolution of the issue through peaceful means on the basis of relevant UN resolutions and the legitimate expectations of the people of Jammu Kashmir. Human rights violations in Myanmar, especially crimes committed against Rohingya, remain a source of concern. We also condemn the military takeover of the government by the Myanmar armed forces. Madam President, Turkey will continue to engage with the Council for the protection and promotion of human rights for all. Thank you.